I'm Italo Silveira. I'm a former professional race car driver and a e-race team owner and head coach. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what are the reasons why we change gears on a car. You can do it for two different reasons. One, always being on new gear and chain set, it guarantees that you have the least amount of friction between the gear and the chain, which creates like less temperature, so you lose less power through the gear and chain, so the car's gonna go faster. That's one of the reasons.
For us.
Always keeping it new, they'll have less friction because of less wear. The other reason is to tune the setup of the cart. You wanna always be in the correct power window of the engine. So the engine have a certain amount of torque and horsepower for every single RPM in its range. So you want to make sure that you maximize the time that you are in the peak power of the engine by tuning the gear. So first session out, we walk the track, we take a guess on what kind of gear we're gonna be on, and we'll see how close that guess is. But once you go out on track the first time, we're gonna know exactly where we're at, and then we can adjust from there. We can go up or down based on what we see on the track. I have two gear stacks here. Those are all used. What we do here is we use them to try. This is a stack of smaller gears. Those are a little bit bigger. A bigger gear means shorter ratio. It's like when you're in your car, you're in the second, first, or third gear. That's a shorter ratio for you to start moving. You have more bottom power or initial. When you initiate the movement, you need more power. So that's a bigger gear. The smaller gear would be like when you're in the fifth, sixth, or seventh gear in your car. It's more for like straight line speeds. The category that we're racing here this week, there's no gearbox, so it's a one single gear that has to work for the whole track. So we need to find out what's the best gear for each track. So every track is different, and it doesn't necessarily mean that every driver on track is going to be using the same gear. The other thing is, you might have a fight on track in a pack of like 5 different drivers, and all 5 of them could be in different gears. It doesn't really make like an astronomical difference. Obviously, being in the correct gear can give you an edge, but you jump 2 to 3 teeth on a gear, you may see 1 or 2 tenth difference. More often than not, what you're gonna see is, if you have a bigger gear than your competitor, you might have more bottom power, he will have more top speed, so you might be a little bit quicker than him in a certain part of the track, and the competitor might be a little bit quicker in another part of the track, and in the end of the full lap, both could still match the exact same lap time. So it all depends. Every driver is different, every engine is different, you know, every chassis setup will be a little bit different. So it's all about finding the correct combination for the driver, the track, and the chassis, the whole equipment in question.